3.
Dream.
Dreams is a PlayStation exclusive game creation game. I think Dreams is the only platform that actually does the game creation game idea well. You have platforms like Roblox, which you could kind of say are game creation games, but in reality, it's just kind of a custom game engine they made that you can upload games to their website. That's about it. But with Dreams, it's all on console, exclusive to console. And unlike Game Builder, Garage, or other alternatives, you can make legit stuff with Dreams. Far better than the competition, and that's why I like it so much. And one thing that really shines on this platform is Sonic fan games. Oh my days, there are a plethora of Sonic fan games you can check out. There's games like Sonic Venture and Sonic Overdrive and Sonic Sapphire and Sonic Blazing Diamond.
Well, okay then.
And Sonic blank onto literal infinity. There are so many games that I could not talk about all of them here, and a lot of them are really, really good. But the game that I want to talk about today is Sonic Adventure Dreams Edition. And I think that this game has something that the rest of the competition on Dreams, or just Sonic fan games in general, don't. Sonic Adventure Dreams Edition is stupid addicting. There are many fun Sonic fan games, but there are very few that I can just play for hours on end. I don't think Sonic Adventure Dreams Edition has the best physics. I don't think it has the best level design. I don't even think it has the best visuals. It's not really the best out of any category. Now, that's not to say that it's bad. It's still good on all cylinders, but the thing is, I have to praise this game for its content, and it's smart content. Everything in this game feels really meaty. It feels like there's a lot to it. There's a lot to get out of this game. I mean, I've put in, dare I say, a solid 10 hours into this game. Just messing around, screwing around. I've 100%ed the game. And I tell you, I 100% games almost never, let alone fan games. So seeing myself put hours upon hours into a Sonic fan game on Dreams is just mind-blowing. And so today, I want to really dive into why I think this game really nails down the addictive nature that Sonic games can have. First of which is its core gimmick. What this game does is it has a two gameplay style formula, something that we saw in Generations and Unleashed. But this game does it in a really interesting way. Instead of doing classic or modern and day stages and night stages, this game does boost and adventure. I think this was really smart because it's not a separate character, it's not a totally separate genre of game, it's not very different, and that's what I like about it. Both of these playstyles have the same appeal. It's still Sonic going fast, and I think the best part is that I don't drastically prefer one of these. I think they're on equal terms here. I like them just as much, which is what makes it so great. It doesn't feel unbalanced. While I like classic Sonic and modern Sonic a lot, I can understand someone saying, hey, I think there's a little bit too much 2D for my taste, especially considering the fact that modern Sonic also has that. So if that's something you don't prefer, it makes it feel like there's a superior and inferior style. But I don't feel that with this game at all. I feel that both of these styles are just perfectly balanced. Because they're not trying to be too different, they're trying to be very similar. It's just good variety, and it keeps me hooked, because that means half of these levels that are adventure styled and just have a different feel to them, and then there's these boost levels, which also have a different feel to them, but also feel really connected and not just randomly different for the sake of different. It's good variety, not variety for the sake of variety. Another aspect of this game I like a lot is the hub worlds. Now already, I'm just a big fan of hub worlds in Sonic. I think stuff like Adventure 1 having hub worlds is just like awesome. So this game having hub worlds is like great. I just love hub worlds. And these hub worlds, not only do they just visually look nice, they're fun to explore, and they really promote exploration. They're not just there for the sake of having somewhere to run around. There's a lot of things to do here. There's emblems to collect, there's little puzzles to solve. In fact, you usually have to do some sort of puzzle to get all of the levels, which is something I really love. Not every level is just immediately accessible to you. Like in Station Square, when you have to go traverse the sewers to go get over to Hydro City. That's just cool. I like that type of thing. It's not difficult, but it's just interesting. It gives depth to these hub worlds. They don't feel surface level. They don't just feel like visual additions for the sake of being there. There is actual reason for them being there. I also like that there are characters scattered around in these hub worlds. Oh, damn! Like you can talk to Tails at the tornado, who can take you to different locations, or he can comment on how he feels about the spot they're in. You can talk to Knuckles, you can talk to Amy, you can talk to Shadow, and you can talk to Silver. These characters are just scattered about, and it's nice. And all of them give you a little quest to do to get an emblem. The characters being there really adds a lot to these hub worlds. Another thing I'm a huge fan of is Vector's shop. Now this isn't just something extra that's just kind of cool. And that's what I like about it. It doesn't just feel like extra content. Yes, it has a lot of costumes and a lot of little kind of useless things, but it also has many gameplay upgrades. You can buy gameplay upgrades here. The biggest of which is an emblem tracker, which is immensely helpful when you're trying to find emblems in a level. Now, it never is going to tell you exactly where it is, but it just lets you know when you're going through a level, hey, there's an emblem nearby. So what at first seemed like a little useless extra addition for the sake of more content actually became a really valuable resource. Something else that it does is also, since you need to pay with rings, you can also grind rings in the shop by playing the two arcade games here, either Flappy Tails or Amy's little hammer minigame. Both of these are really stupid and just really charming. Like most games wouldn't have stuff like this, and I just like that these are here. Now, while these arcade machines and this little treadmill don't change the game, they really don't. If they weren't there, I don't think the game would be that much worse, but the reason I appreciate them so much isn't really how much they add to the game, but how much I know that this took time. It makes this world feel complete. It makes it feel full. It doesn't feel empty. It doesn't feel like it's lacking. There's little things like arcade machines you can play. Like, that is incredibly cool, and I love stuff like that, and it makes the world feel interesting. It makes the game feel interesting, and it doesn't just feel surface level. Another thing I'm a giant fan of in this game is the special stages. So in this game, there are a few stages that you can get an emerald from, and only these. And so you go in and you do the typical thing. You look for a special stage ring. Now, some of these are actually pretty tricky to find. Like this one in Angel Island was pretty cheeky. It took me forever to find it. So once you've found the ring and hop in, the special stages themselves are incredibly unique. I've never seen a Sonic game do it like this. So in most Sonic games, the special stages are a repeated mini game. All the classics do this, Mania does it, Superstars does it, any game with traditional special stages does it like this. But this game takes an incredibly different approach. Instead of having a series of the same mini game with just, different visuals and different difficulty, this game has just straight up special stages. It takes the stage part literally. It is just a miniature level that's some kind of challenge. And it's great because all of them are different. And the variety is just crazy because one level can be about skydiving to collect as many rings as possible, and the next one can be about maintaining your breath underwater while collecting red rings. That's crazy. The variety here is just top tier. It makes every special stage feel, special. It doesn't just feel like, oh hey, look, I'm going back into that mini game. Will this one be difficult or not? I don't know what I'm getting myself into, and it was a fun surprise. Even when I thought that a few were going to be really similar, it turns out there was a little twist, and that's what I was a huge fan of. There's just so much variety here that just kept it interesting. And this is also a good time to mention that even though once you beat a special stage, it does boot you back to the start of the stage, you don't have to beat the level. I had the impression at first that you would think, well, duh, I have to beat the level and then I officially claim the emerald. No, you don't. As soon as you beat the special stage, you now have the emerald. You can just exit the level and go back to the hub world, and you have it. That's true of anything you get in the levels, actually, outside of rings, because those are only deposited once you beat the stage. But any emblems, any emeralds, you keep them. And the final and biggest thing that I absolutely adore about this game is the emblems system. Now, as soon as I saw the emblems and that you had to collect a certain amount of emblems to be able to progress to the next level or to the next hub world, yeah, I was not too excited. Love or hate Sonic Unleashed, the medal system in that game will just always make me sigh. It's not terrible necessarily, it just doesn't really work in a game about going fast. It doesn't really feel like there's that many options. Sure, you can get some in the hub worlds, but it's just not a well done system in Unleashed. But this game does it so well that it makes me not only not be bothered by it, but it makes me like it. It makes me enjoy the fact that I need to collect these. And there are a few reasons for that. Number one, there's no day and night medals. They've gotten completely rid of that. There's no sort of boost and adventure emblems or something like that. No, it's just emblems. They're a general currency, and that's it. And that's what I'm a big fan of. I was really worried that there was going to be some sort of boost emblems and some sort of adventure emblems, but no, it's just emblems. Another reason is that there are less emblems in general. In Unleashed, there are a bajillion medals, especially in the night stages where there's usually 10 day medals and 10 night medals. That's crazy. In all of these levels, there's only just one emblem in the level. That's it. And the last reason that I love these emblems so much, and I think is the biggest reason, is that the game gives me options. I can get these emblems however I want. If you're struggling to collect them in levels, that's all good. You can collect them by beating a level with a good rank. Or you can collect them just in the hub worlds, because there's ones hanging out in the hub worlds. You can actually buy one from the shop. This game gives you options, and one of the big ones is character quests. Every character here will give you an emblem. Amy just gives you a free one, but Shadow, Silver, Knuckles all have little quests for you to do. And they're usually cool, like you get to race Shadow, you have to do a little time trial for Knuckles, and for Silver, you have to do this little platforming challenge. This game just gives you options. And to go back to what I was saying, since there are so many less emblems compared to medals, now getting a singular emblem is really high value. It makes it where these other options don't feel obsolete or just there for the sake of being there. It feels like it's a totally valid way of getting the emblems. If you just aren't having any luck finding them in the levels, then just don't spend time replaying all the levels. Just go out into the hub world and get some there. Talk to a character, buy one in the shop, or if you got a good rank, then you would get an emblem anyways. So while I have went back and gotten all of the emblems, I felt like it was earned. It was because the emblems felt rewarding. It didn't feel like a useless currency that I could just get like 100 of them. And since I had so many options, just playing through it felt really smooth. It just didn't feel choppy. I didn't feel like I got, caught up at some point where I'm like, oh, I need more emblems. That never happened. It felt super smooth and the progression was great. So saying all that, I truly believe that Sonic Adventure Dreams Edition is the most addictive Sonic fan game. And the main reason for that is that the game doesn't get in the way of you having fun. It has a creative concept, it does it well, and implements systems that don't hinder you, but only make the experience more enjoyable. I don't feel there's really anything holding this game back content-wise, or progression-wise, or formula-wise. The biggest issue with the game is that it's still a little bit jank, and I think the physics and a few of the animations just aren't the best. That's pretty much it. Outside of that, I don't really have much criticism of this game. And I mean that seriously, viewing this from like an official game standpoint. Obviously, it just doesn't have the polish, like I'm bringing up, it just doesn't have that. But viewing this in the same quality standard that I would view something like an official game, I would still say that this is just incredibly fun. It really is. It stacks up fun-wise to the official games. And that's what I gotta give it a lot of credit for. And 100%ing this game was just an incredible experience. It was super fun. I got all the costumes, all the upgrades, all the emblems, every S rank, I got everything. And so yeah, this game is incredibly fun, and I'm so excited to see this game flourish and continue to evolve, and I can't wait to see this game finished. That will be an amazing day to play this game once it's finished. So yeah, saying all that, I hope all of you have an amazing rest of your day. God bless.